Hello, everybody. This is the first session at RuneFest 2017. Can I have a cheer? So we're going to be bringing onto the stage some of the top celebrities from YouTube and from Twitch, our best streamers, to ask them lots of challenging questions, and for you guys to also have a chance to throw your questions at them as well. So, can I have a massive round of applause and a cheer for everybody coming to the stage?
Side seat. What? All right, Q&A. Let's do it. What are you talking to? Yeah.
Wow, it's full in here. All right, we good? There we go. How's it going, guys? Welcome to RuneFest 2017, and enjoy the streamer Q&A. Woo! Come on. All right. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions. I have a few to ask myself. We've got some fog in the building. We do have a mic wandering around the stage. If you have a question for one of these guys, please do raise your hand and we'll try to get through to you. All right. We don't have a ton of time. I've got some questions on my phone here, actually, and I'm going to get through these. First and foremost, how many RuneFests have you all been to?
2.
2?
2 for me as well.
This is my third one.
This is my third RuneFest as well.
My second.
My second one.
And how has it changed? How are you enjoying it compared to like a few years? It's changed quite a bit in a few years, hasn't it?
It's the second time in the Batsy Evolution venue, and this one's looking amazing because you've got like the Alkridge theme going on, the Lumbridge Swamp. It's really nice to see.
Yeah,
this is the biggest one that y'all have done so far, huh? As far as tickets sold.
Yeah.
And it's grown every single year.
Yeah. So let's get through these questions. All right. First and foremost, you guys are famous, but some of these people might not know you. Let's get a very quick introduction. Who are you? How long have you been creating content on Twitch or YouTube?
I can go first. Hey guys, Mr. Mammal here. I started YouTube when I was like 11 years old. Obviously my videos were pretty bad back then, but I've been doing YouTube since I was 11, and I started Twitch about 3 years ago, so.
And I'm Woox, and I have been playing RuneScape since 2006 and started making videos in 2008 when I first sold Corp. And that's when I got really big. And I've also been streaming on Twitch for about 3 years, but I don't stream full time, so it's usually like 2 streams per month, or maybe if there's some new content, I might stream a little bit extra, but yeah.
I'm Faux. I've been streaming on Twitch for 4.5 years now. So since about a week after Old School RuneScape came out, and just never really stepped away from it.
My name is Mmorpg RS, also known as Curtis. I've been streaming on Twitch for 3.5 years now, mostly doing Iron Man content and Deadman mode on the side as well.
I'm Torvesta. I've been making content originally since 2012, full-time since April 2015, and I also live stream as well.
My name's a friend. I've been making videos for 5.5 years now, and yeah, it's been fun.
So,
I've streamed a few times as well. But.
So for many of you guys and many of the other streamers who we can't fit on the stage, unfortunately, this has become your full-time job. How life-changing has this game been for you?
Life-changing is an understatement, to be honest. It's crazy to take a childhood game you play and turn it into a career, like you said. It's unbelievable.
I don't really stream full time, but yeah, I still get a lot of support in the game. When people see me in the game, they always say hi, and I try to say hi back. But sometimes I might be in a rush, so I can't really answer everyone. But yeah, that's just how it is.
I can't really speak for everyone, but myself, I never expected it to be this big. When we started, most of us started doing it just for fun, just something that we can enjoy and share an experience with someone else. And 4 years later, it's just grown exponentially every single year. It's become something that, supports us financially. It supports, what we do. So it's just amazing, honestly.
Yeah, going off what Paul said, like, for a lot of us, it started out as a hobby. And now it's turned to something we can actually work on and create content, like, all day. Because we put a lot of hours into this, even off stream as well. We're putting in, like, say, 7-8 hours a day. For Paul, I know he's been doing, like, 10-hour streams recently. So, yeah, it's an absolutely amazing opportunity. And it's all down to the guys tuning in.
Yeah, it's insane because a lot of these people here today, I used to look up to when I used to play as a kid. So, now being part of it, it's insane.
Oh yeah, for me it changed a lot as well. Just because, you know, like I don't act well. I know I used to work like hard labor jobs and I didn't like it, and I said if that's jobs that I have to work, like I just couldn't imagine it. So when I got into YouTube, I just didn't let it go, and that's why I was so consistent, you could say, for the past 5.5 years, because I just didn't want to go back. And yeah, that's why I play so much. Sometimes just, especially when a new game mode comes out, I could play for like 15 hours every day for months.
Like a group Iron Man, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. That's really nice to hear. I'm going to give you a bit of a fun question here. I apologize for not giving you time to think of this, but that helps the question, all right? Describe your viewers in 3 words.
Meme.
You don't all have to answer.
Freaking champ.
That's almost 3 words, yeah.
That'll work.
Anyone brave enough? Should we come back to this one?
Sister, nest, dragon claws. Pretty much.
That's 4 words, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 4.
Very. Here it is. Yeah, I can't say that on stage though, so very friggin' juicy. There you go.
That's fair.
Keep it PG-13.
Hill giant. That's 2, but that's it. Hill giant.
Fair enough, guys. So it's all about the memes, I see. That's good to know. All right. I think we might have a question from the audience if we can find somebody with a mic.
Here's one up here, Chris.
Oh, I can see one up here. Maud Connor, thank you. Have you found somebody, or we have any hands up, guys? Any questions?
Come on. Okay, we got our front.
Put them nice and high, guys.
I got lazy.
Woox, how much to do my Infernal cape?
What's your RuneScape name? I'll do it for you, then take your account. All right. Let's get some opinions on social media, guys. So many of you guys are obviously very active on YouTube and Twitch. How about Twitter? How about Reddit? What'd you think of the 2007-scape Reddit?
It's just basically memes most of the time.
Yeah,
I go on
memes.
there for a spicy meme, you know, see the latest stuff, and
It's always a cycle. Something comes up.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sticks around for like 3-4 weeks. You know, we have a calendar. So there's
or it's like you go there to see who's got the drops recently. Like you go on there, you see the streamers like, oh, Mammal got an earlier 80 kill count, or Paul got, I don't know, primordial boost. So it's beautiful to see.
And Twitter, I know some of you guys are very active on Twitter, some not so much.
Twitter's so fun. It's such an easy way to connect with people, and again, memes, of course, but it's amazing.
A lot of people ask me questions about Inferno on Twitter, so I try to reply to almost all of them, and helping people out, that's just great.
Okay. Well, we spoke about memes a little bit. We're going to just a little bit more. Haha. Best meme of 2017.
Oh, man. Woox's reaction when he saw the Twisted Bow.
What's the stars thing called? Shooting stars. Those
Oh,
videos.
man.
Yeah.
When Woox is doing his reaction like that. I loved it.
There was a Shooting Stars with Paul recently from the Dead Man Mansion.
And I had one as well, I believe. So
There was a little bit of a belly flop during the Dead Man Mansions. It was beautiful.
Okay, Reddit, you heard it. More Shooting Stars memes, please.
Get making, guys. Get making.
Another one of these questions, then we'll get one from the audience again. What's the craziest thing you've ever done on stream?
Oh.
Jordan has one for recently, yeah.
The craziest thing I've done on stream? I mean, I've shaved my head and dyed my hair and waxed my eyebrows and my chest, and I've done all kinds of crazy stuff for charity, so it's hard to name which is the craziest, but
I think for me, it was probably my Inferno run when I first got it. I was so happy, and we had so many viewers watching. It was just great.
Sorry, Woox, did you watch the video that the guy, Luda, I believe his name was? He made a video spoofing your reaction, like an anime style. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
What'd you think of it?
It's great.
I've waxed my legs for charity. Ladies, it hurts. Props to you. I have shaved my head a few times. I've painted like Bob Ross, and I've danced the Hotline Bling. A lot of embarrassing things. Yeah.
I can't think of any crazy things that I've done in terms of like in real life crazy stuff. But in game, I guess going 3,000 run in LA, that's pretty crazy. I mean, where is that?
We just did the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy as well. Yeah.
I mean, I got egged the other day on stream, and And I've done a few Dragon Claw specs for the viewers, you know what I mean? Bit cringy, but yeah. No, not a chance.
Before we get to a friend real quick, Torvesta talking about that egg. So for those who didn't see, he was in the Dead Man Mansion's. Ian, Pure Spam, one of the hosts today, decided to smash an egg on his head. How did you feel about Ian after that?
Well, I got him back. I ended up ice blitz DDSing him. So I got a cup of water and ice, chucked it over him, and then I had an IRL DDS, so yeah.
Yeah, you got him back. All right, fair enough. A friend, crazy things you've done for content?
Well, I don't stream, so for the videos.
The wilderness video, your 1,000th video, that was
yeah.
crazy. That was the best.
was-
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, at least I got to do that before I died. So.
Do we have any questions from the audience then? Hands nice and high, please, guys.
Running to the front.
For Torvesta, is your sister here?
She's not. I think it would be a bad idea bringing her, to be quite honest with you.
Let's do another one.
Yeah, another question?
What's up, guys? Pat Susie here. When you guys are not streaming, who do you guys love to watch on Twitch?
That's a good question. Most of us hop around to everyone,
Yeah.
and it's not just the larger streamers as well. Pastor Susie, I've seen you quite a bit, and I'm always in your stream. Honestly, lately I've been hitting up the smaller streamers a lot more. There's a lot of content creators out there that people just don't reach because the first thing they see is the top of Twitch. So scroll down a little bit and look at some of the other guys. You know, there's a lot of up-and-coming guys that are
Very
perfect
talented guys
to look
now.
at. Yeah.
And that's why they're doing the award this year for best upcoming streamer for Golden Gnome, because there really is some talent out there. You just got to scroll down and browse.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into old school then. What's been your favorite update this year? Is it Raids, World Map, Inferno? What is it?
Raids, beautiful update. Created a lot of new content and also a lot of new drops coming to the game as well. Inferno was obviously the most challenging thing to come out this year, and that's going to stay challenging for a very long time. Like there won't be something that's harder than that for a couple of years at least. So those two things definitely.
Maybe you might know this. Did Obor come out this year?
No.
Obor? If we have an old school dev in the audience, they might be able to clarify. I'm not sure. I want to say that might have been early this year.
It might have been. If it was, definitely that. But no, I think Raids is amazing. Raids is a really good PVM challenge that, as long as you put in the time to practice it, it's not too difficult. Whereas the Inferno, that's a different story. But
And whose guide do you watch to learn how to raid?
He watches his own, but it takes about 5 hours.
yeah, you gotta get some popcorn ready.
Fair enough. Woox, you've been a big fan of the Inferno. How was that coming out? How excited were you, I suppose, when that first came out?
I was so excited because it was finally going to be a really hard PVMing challenge, and I've just been looking forward to that forever, basically. So I was just really happy about it, and I think it was also very well balanced. I'm really happy about that because some content might not be properly balanced, but I think Inferno was very well done, so good job on that.
All right, well said. Actually, so you were the first one to complete the Inferno,
Yes.
but there were many people that were trying really hard to take that title from you.
Yeah.
Were you getting nervous watching them get to Zuck and thinking, oh, they might be the first one, or what was that like?
Yeah, I was really nervous the day before I got it because I was really close the night before, but I was getting too tired, so I couldn't really focus. So I thought, oh, someone else is going to get it overnight when I'm sleeping. But I woke up at like 6 a.m. and I saw like in the Twitter DMs, we had like a group of people doing Inferno, and they were just thinking, oh, it's impossible. But then I just logged on, and because I just woke up and I was just thinking really good, had really good sleep, so I was able to do it on my like third attempt that day. So it was really good.
Awesome. We did an Inferno player visit, actually. We invited some of our streamers, a couple here on the stage right now, back in May, I believe it was. Yeah, back when it was still being balanced around those stages. And I remember you guys, a few people, saying, like, I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
Or
We made it to
if
the
it is
triple Chads
possible.
and we were thinking,
Yeah.
how?
You guys were saying, like, you need Elijah, and you need Twisted Bow, and then Woox is proving otherwise.
At the time, we thought it was going to be months before someone could complete it. Yeah. We thought that a 45 defense would never be able to, which I know there's been at least one of those recently. But when we looked at it, you know, we figured, okay, one Jad, that's no problem. And then we got to the next wave and saw 3, and most of us panicked and died within 2 hits. A couple of us made it a little bit, but I think we started practicing that a little bit, and you know, Bodhi ended up doing it.
Yeah, I
the
think
second
Adam was the only
attempt.
guy to actually complete it after like
So we figured it's doable. And then we saw Zuck and basically just lost it when we saw the shield and got hit once for, I think, a 115.
Yeah, it's so difficult to balance that stuff because, you know, we don't play the game for 12 hours a day as some of you guys do. We're not nearly as good as you guys. So to make something that is difficult for you means it has to be impossible for us.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line. We could have made it way too hard or, you know, a little bit too easy, but I'm really pleased with the balancing on that one. Next question for you. Which old school or RuneScape content creator would you love to see come back and make some more content?
If Group Iron ever becomes a thing, I would love to see RuneShark form back together.
God
Do
Sword
like the
set
God
from
Sword
scratch.
set from scratch.
Oh,
That would be
please.
beautiful.
With Kieran.
Yes. All three of the guys.
I think So Solid 2K was probably my biggest inspiration. I know he was a while ago, but he had like those crazy max hit videos, and when I was a kid, I thought they were so fun to watch. So I'd love to see him back. I don't know if he still plays. I have no idea, but
Personally, this guy just got back into Twitch, and I don't know if he's doing it fully yet, but Bonesaw Banff is back.
Yeah.
And for a long time, IceGiant99 was one of my favorite guys to watch, and then when he started streaming as well, you know, became good friends with him. So it's nice to see him back in the community. I'm hoping he sticks with it.
All right, good to hear. Should we grab one from the audience then?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Over this side. There we go.
What's your guys' favorite skill except combat and slayer?
oh, that's it. It's Slayer. I mean,
I like crafting, but it's not because I like the skill. The only thing I like about it is cutting gems. I don't know why. It's very pleasing to do. I always loved it.
I agree.
My favorite's probably Hunter. A lot of people don't understand why, but I just find it chill when you're just sitting there doing shins. And the Implings as well. Implings are the best because it's just one of the best money makers when you first start off an account. You head to Implings, make a couple of mil, just easy money. I love it.
I like Slayer, but only if I have a cannon, because then you can AFK most of the time.
All right, question for you, a friend. What's the longest amount of time you've put into making a video? Because I swear some of these videos you guys make are so underrated. You will be one frame or one clip. You'll be like, okay, I'm 40 smithing. I need to get 92 for this thing. The next clip you'll have 92 smithing. I'm like, whoa, hold up. There was a lot of time between that frame right there.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 120 hours when I was smelting like 50,000 cannonballs. Well, I had to buy everything first, to buy coal and iron ore. I think I had to make money as well. And then I used all of them on shamans. And it was all in a single video. And I didn't get a Dragon Water Hammer. That was 1 year ago or something. So, yeah, some of them take a long time. Usually, I'd say now, on average, takes maybe 30, maybe like 40 hours to make a video, because it's just high-level content. And you just to get a single level takes so long. If you don't get that level, then there is no content really to show. So you have to get it, or yeah, pretty much you have to get it.
Yeah, the standards have really come up. So when I used to make videos, it was like, okay, hop on the computer, record for maybe 1 to 2 hours, trim out the stuff that was boring, and then it's on YouTube. I'm done. And that was easy. It's not nearly that easy now. What's it like having the standards constantly rising? You guys are rising the standards, in fact.
As we're rising them, I mean, everyone's getting better at it. So, you know, we look back at accounts that we might have made 2 years ago, and we do it again now, and it takes, you know, what took us 2 years then takes us 5 months, 8 months now.
right.
So even though everything takes so much longer to get, we're better at it, you know, because we've been doing it so constantly. So that helps out a good bit.
Yeah, it's not as easy as just making a PK commentary these days. You know, you got to think out the box. And,
Right.
yeah.
You gotta fake or pretend having dragon claws? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's talk about content on Twitch and new starters then. So if you were to encourage a new starter, first and foremost, what's the thing that you click on first on Twitch? If you see somebody doing the Inferno, PKing, Hardcore Iron Man, whatever it might be, what's the first one you click on? And which one would you encourage newer streamers to try?
So I usually click on one that has a webcam to start because it's easier to engage with your audience. But the first thing that when you go into a new streamer, you want to see someone that's engaging. You want to see someone that responds to the chat, talks to their viewers. Because if they're just ignoring it, if they're just playing the game, if they just have a music stream going, there's nothing that reaches an audience there. You're just watching a video, basically. And content creating on Twitch is a lot about having a community of your own. So when you find a new streamer, a young streamer that has that, it's really easy to settle in and feel like you want to be there, which makes someone want to come back. So new streamers, they need to shoot for that to help themselves grow.
Yeah, I've always said in the RuneScape category, chat interaction is #1. It's such an easy game to interact with your audience because RuneScape's quite an AFK game. So a lot of the time you could be reading the chat and then doing the content on the side. But I always say, like, you should probably make your community of your own, and you need to make yourself known, like other people's chats, like talk to in other streams. Because if you're making yourself known and start streaming, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that guy from, say, Paul's chat, you know? Yeah. So it's probably the best thing to do.
I think
go ahead.
I would say my biggest advice is I get asked a lot like, oh, what should I do? Like you just said, like what content? In my opinion, I think you should do whatever you want to do because like they said, as long as you have that personality, that interaction, people are gonna stick with that. And so at the end of the day, if you're having fun, they can tell. So stream what you want to stream, have fun with it, and people they'll watch your streams eventually.
Great advice. And there's a bit of a difference between YouTube and streamers because not all of you are streamers. Interacting with YouTube in specific, what's that like? What's the difference? Do you guys actually read all of your comments? Do you reply to some, or do you just make the videos and leave them?
I usually check. I usually check them within the first 24 hours, and then yeah, pretty much. I reply to some.
Do you go to you can check all the comments, there's not just for a single video?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I go. I used to reply more, but now my comments got really weird.
Yeah,
lately.
so do mine.
I don't know if I should be replying to them, but yeah, I like it. I still read them. I still read all of them, but
mine are really bad.
Yeah, I can't really reply to them anymore. Unless it's a legitimate question or something, then I do.
Yeah, I literally have 400 comments. All the top comments are the same thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on, guys, get some originality. All right. Speaking of underrated or growing, content creators, who is the most underrated in the community?
That's a tough question. Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd even say underrated because at this point, I think a lot of people know, but I think Guns Chili's YouTube videos are, the editing is just unreal, top notch.
I'm gonna shout out Ron Plays Games, Novice. They've been making some really good streams this year. I think they're both nominated for upcoming streamers, so well deserved indeed.
I really like Andre. He's just a sick PK, but unfortunately, he doesn't really stream as much anymore because he had to find a full-time job. So, but yeah, he's one of the best PKs in the game. I mean, he came second in the tournament, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to encourage more guys like him to start streaming. There's not often somebody PKing. Personally, my thing is hybrid PKing. There's not usually somebody hybrid PKing. So as soon as I see it, I'm clicking on that immediately. So please more of that. Same with the Deadman mode PKing. It's everyone's playing Deadman, everyone's enjoying it. But then we watched Manked Up Mage went live on the weekend streaming some Deadman PKing, and then boom, he shot up. He eventually reached 6K viewers. It's nuts. Yeah. All right, next question then. Who do you look up to as a content creator?
You. You, Stu.
He said you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can match Bodhi. I mean, not just because he's on the top of Twitch and he has been for so long, but this dude is more generous than anyone I've ever met through RuneScape Twitch. And you've seen it in the past with what he's done with his charity work and reaching out to other streamers. But just as much as he does, he donates to people and whatnot, and makes them, he supports their content. But he started the connection loss thing to help out young, growing streamers that have hit a certain point, and to get them kind of over that hill. And I was talking to a couple people at the Night Before party last night, and they were telling me how much that actually changed their channels and just put them on the map. So I don't think there's anyone better to look up to in the community.
Yeah, I would
definitely agree.
Say a lot of these guys on stage as well, just the consistency they put in and the amount of work they put into their content, it's definitely an inspiration to me myself.
I'm gonna give you a shout out now because I still do create content a little bit myself personally, and Curtis has the most insane work ethic and schedule. Yeah. He was ill. He was not doing well, and he came to Insomnia for an event, Wilderness Wars.
Spread the disease to everybody.
Right, very kind of him. I said, so are you going to take a break because you're sick, right? He said, no, I got to get back to streaming. And the next day, he's back to doing some ridiculous 8 hours a day or whatever it was. He doesn't take off time. It's the same goes for many of you
I mean,
guys,
I say that for times like this, but then again, this is an event you've got to come to every year. So one of a year opportunity.
Your schedule seriously impresses me. It's really impressive.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get back into the game, then we'll grab one from the audience. If you could see a new skill in old school RuneScape, what would you love to see?
Sailing. Where is it?
Please.
It didn't even pass the poll.
It didn't pass.
Sailing?
Yeah.
I've failed.
Not summoning.
2002, and
No.
sailing's been a meme, or it's been in the background, in the talks since RuneScape Classic, and then y'all did the April Fool's troll one year, where you could get up to 20 sailing, and everyone thought it was an actual skill because you could
Like,
actually
you made that
level
look pretty legit as well.
But,
Like, that should have been a thing, The different colored
as long
boats
as it's
well.
not like player-owned ports.
No.
The difficulty with creating a new skill is players want to know everything, of course, that makes sense. However, we can't invest the amount of time that it requires to create a skill, because it might take a year, who knows, and then pitch it, and then if it fails, obviously that's a waste of a year.
Yeah.
So what we can do is try to find a balance of how much time we can put into it, and then say, okay, so this is what we have so far, this is where we'd like to take it. But it's hard for some people to see the bigger picture there without seeing everything finished.
Honestly, I think Artisan could make a comeback, because the way it was pitched first was maybe not the greatest, but I feel like that would be really good because a lot of people don't really have the motivation for skilling, but with Artisan, it forces you to train certain skills, like cut a certain amount of logs or something. I just feel like the rewards were underwhelming. If that was pitched right, that would be a good one.
I love the idea of Artisan.
Yeah.
I used to
definitely.
love Dungeoneering. I think summoning would ruin the game these days, you know what I mean? Like Pack Yak, 30 extra items. Yeah.
That would ruin.
Yeah, that would.
It would change it so much.
completely ruin
Like,
it.
with fucking old school.
You have to
Yeah,
think
I
of
just
if you want the skill or if you just want it for the rewards. So when I say dungeoneering, I just want chaotics.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I mean, you can bring those in with like different stuff. Like,
A
Alderman
new
was
raid,
pretty
maybe.
much-
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
missed the
can maybe,
chaotic
maybe
one.
bring it something similar to that with a new raid.
Yeah,
There could be a different approach to how things like that come in the game, but I don't think I would want a skill like dungeoneering in old school.
No, because we got like raids.
Now it draws so many similarities
yeah.
to raids. Yeah.
Okay. Let's grab one from the audience then. Hands up, guys, please.
What's your favorite piece of RS content?
Iron Man mode.
Yeah.
Hardcore specifically.
Iron Man mode made a lot of our channels, I believe, because
Yeah,
I think Paul was doing the self-sufficient, and then when Iron Man mode launched, and I think he started the Ultimate, I'm pretty sure.
He has an
It was
NPC
big
in the
for a lot
game.
of us.
What was that?
I was just saying, you have an NPC in the game for it.
Exactly.
I do.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's mind blowing.
Let's get one from everybody, actually. What's your favorite thing to do in the entire game?
Deadman mode. Yeah, Deadman mode made my channel in the first place. I had like 4,900 subscribers, and then my channel just blew up from there. Like, yeah, it was insane.
I like PvMing in general, honestly. I'm not the greatest at it, but I enjoy it. Whether it be Slayer or bossing, I've always loved it.
Mine was probably Hardcore Iron Man, but
Your boy used to be.
yeah. Well, hopefully a new game mode will come out this
Rebuy
year.
mode.
Hopefully, maybe that one will change everything. Now it's just Iron Man mode. It's still cool, but not as cool as Hardcore.
You're an ex-hardcore.
Yeah.
F in the chat.
I would say Inferno because I've just been trying all kinds of challenges there. I've done it with 3 mil gear, I've tried it without pillars, and there's just so many things you can do, and I think that's just really exciting.
If I'm right, Woox, aren't you going to try a one defense Inferno one time?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm working on it, and I also want it to be at a very low combat level. So right now it's level 59, but I think I might have to train it a little bit more, but I still want to do it at really low combat level, as low as possible.
That's exciting. Awesome. All right, next question then. Bit of a fun one here. Which streamer has the best emotes?
Ooh. I'll tell you what, Paul has been getting some good emotes recently.
Yes.
The faux flex.
I like Paul's a lot.
I'm liking it. I, mean,
I like
Bo's-
Zulu's. Yeah, Zulu's got some
Yeah.
really good ones. And Hey Jace, the Jace Demon, has become one of the biggest memes on Twitch.
I feel like the 2x2 emotes have become a lot popular.
Yeah, they're
on Twitch. Like everybody's got one now, and it's nice because you can like mix and match the eyes with like some other streamer's mouth or something. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
There's no way we don't mention Bodhi VV. There's
Yeah.
no way. I mean, come on.
I bet there's a lot of
It's
enthusiastic.
like raw emo.
Put your hand
I've
up in,
seen 'em.
in the audience if you're a VV enthusiast. Have a look.
I think I saw about
There's a few in there.
Look at this.
10 VV shirts at the night before party last night.
Yeah.
So,
At least.
so get your salutes up.
All right, next question then. Bit more advice for the new guys, potentially. If you could go back in time and find yourself as you were just starting to create content, what's one thing you would tell yourself?
Stay consistent. I mean, I'm doing that anyway, but that is honestly the most important thing.
That's the way to do it.
And jump onto like the new content as well, because if you're doing that from day one, then a lot of people just tune in just because they want to watch that, and they'll latch into your personality from that as well.
It's really about consistency.
Yeah.
You see a huge difference as a content creator if you're doing it, 1 or 2 times a week versus every single day.
Yeah.
It's exponential growth, really. And that's what I wasn't too good at the start. I was, dealing with school and everything else. I was busy, but staying consistent, would have changed the channel much earlier. And it took me a couple years to figure that out.
Yeah, I guess that's hard for a lot of people because when people start streaming, they're already in a job or they're at school. So I guess trying to stay consistent with that is a little bit difficult for some people. I mean, I was lucky because I started streaming as I was taking a gap year from uni. So that was like a perfect time to start. And then from there, I built up my channel.
And it's worth noting, you don't necessarily have to stream if you want to be a content creator. I myself, I prefer making YouTube videos sometimes.
That might work a lot better for some people.
Yeah, working a full-time job, it can be difficult for me to stream long hours. So if I get home from work and I want to play some old school, I can spend 2 to 3 hours on a video. It's not going to be as impressive, but I can get a video out at least, and it's good fun.
Yeah.
Let's start to use the audience more, I think. We can get a few more questions from these guys. There we go.
Iron Man, by the way. Who do you think is going to win Deadman, and what would you still change about it to tackle clans?
I've heard there's another team that has got a lot of members as Deadman, but I can't remember which one it was.
I want to say,
was it Faux?
I think it's Faux, isn't it? Huge thread this time. Over 100 members in this Deadman mode.
And the way that this one's going to work, it's going to be a lot different than the usual ones because this has 4 different quadrants when it gets down to 200 people.
Yeah.
Which you're going to be randomly teleported to one of them, so it could completely disrupt the clanning. So it could come down to who has the most of their clan in one of those 4 areas.
It might force the clan to fight together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it goes down to 1v1, so it could be completely, just not off of which is the last clan standing this time because of the different ones. So I think Fools has a really, really good chance to have someone there in this one.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot better for solo players as well just because of the quadrants. Like, if it comes down to a 1v1 and the solo players have more supplies, they can take it.
The beautiful thing about this time is it's not even close to what it was last time. We have no idea what we're about to witness.
Yeah.
It could go either direction. It could be absolutely insane. It's going to be so fun to watch.
I'm just looking forward to all us 10 playing on stage together on the Discord as well. It's going to be great content.
Worth noting, if you guys aren't aware, as I mentioned earlier, we had the Deadman Mansions. That was 10 of the biggest Deadman streamers in 2 separate mansions. It was something else, right? And we've brought these guys, of course, to the stage. They've been playing on the PCs right next to us here. And the last one alive, actually, out of the 10 of them, gets to donate $10,000 to a charity of their choice, which is pretty fantastic.
We're all winners at the end of the day. Yeah.
We have a representative, or 2 rather, for Team LOL, and one from CBS here on the couch. Now, Team LOL, I believe you guys were going to choose Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That's right.
And CBS, you guys were going to choose
Jude.
St. Jude's. Yeah, fantastic. Let's move on to, actually, you know what? Let's talk about Deadman just a little bit more because we've used you guys a little bit. We've asked for input in helping build Deadman into what we believe it should be. How does it feel having such an influence on the game?
Well, a lot of it just isn't us. The feedback that we give you guys always comes from the community. It's just we're the voice for it. So we take the stuff that's suggested the most to us, and we're just, the caveat to get it to you.
I know EBP had a lot of ideas that we put forward.
So many of his, some of the larger Deadman players, the guys that are playing, 10, 20 hours a day, they see the game inside and out, and they know what should be shifted a little bit. So EBP, Robert, those guys, they always have really good suggestions, but I wouldn't say that it's really, many of our ideas.
No.
It's the community just that gives them to us, and
we're just trying to at the Inferno testing.
Yeah.
But a lot of those obviously did come from the community, and I think just every single season now will get better and better. Like the 500k XP cap for a lot of people that just want a PK, and that's going to allow people to go out and actually do that.
Right. So what that's going to do, it's going to make it to where you can just log in, train for 2 or 3 hours, hit the XP cap, and then you can just PK all day. If you die, you have a 50x rebuild, and you get back within the hour. And that's what a lot of people want with Deadman mode, is the PKing experience without the grind as much.
Yeah, a lot of us will be getting home like 2-3 days late, so even with this 500k XP cap, we'll be able to catch up and make content straight away.
And do any of you have any ideas you'd love to see in the game personally? Anything that you could sneak into the game with no one stopping you?
Well, this is a tough one.
Just sneaking sailing, sneaky little skill. It's the only thing we've not got in old school yet.
We'll turn our heads, just throw in sailing.
Yeah, I don't know on this one. I mean, most of what we've suggested lately has already been implemented, or it's already been put forth. And I think pretty recently we had all our ideas thrown up. So I don't know if I have any new ones already. Need to talk to the community.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Stray away from things a little bit. Let's go into personal hobbies. I'm looking at Mr. Mammal's shoes here.
Oh.
You have quite a collection of shoes. What's the story there?
I don't even really know. I played basketball when I was in high school, and me and my friends would like, oh, what kind of shoes did you get this year for basketball? And it just kind of, I don't know, it sparked an interest in the different kinds, and then before I know it, here I am buying shoes.
Anyone else have any other crazy hobbies?
My favorite hobby is RuneScape.
Yeah.
So I think that,
Like, I was interested in art and design before I started streaming, but now that streaming has took over my life, it's just RuneScape's my only hobby, so I put all my time into it.
I just like dogs.
Yeah,
I like
doggos as
dogs.
well.
I go to dog parks
That's
a
a
lot with
great
mine.
hobby, yeah.
That's my off time.
All right, next question then. Actually, sorry, let's go back to the audience then. I was going to call you guys the chat, the live chat. There we are.
I actually have a question for you, Chris. Can you start making videos on Chris Archie Prods again? Because you do it a lot better than SparkMac.
Why would you put him in this awkward situation?
Can I skip?
Do you want a different question?
He's got a full-time job now.
He's too busy.
Yeah, it's
He's a busy
it's
man. A lot of
especially-
people say that Chris, doesn't do as much as he says he does, but
He does.
honestly, like Chris behind the scenes, he does a lot. So we need
Yeah,
a round of applause for Chris.
Thank you.
He does a lot. This man deserves it.
Well, you got to answer the question.
Yeah, it's just I really love what I get to do for a living, and especially coming out to RuneFest, it takes a lot of time. So sometimes getting home from work after getting to do all these great things with Old School, I don't want to go and then make some more stuff for Old School. I want to just sleep and eat. So it's a really tough life to
9 hours a
balance.
day,
Yeah. I do absolutely love it, but to keep it up to the maintenance level it deserves, which is like daily, yeah, it can be a tough time. I would love to get back into it personally, just kind of maybe a weekly thing, but I've said that, and then I get busy and I make excuses, and I don't have nearly the amount of work ethic that these guys do. So, thank you. Another one from the audience then. Hands up, please.
You're in the middle.
What do you recommend new RuneScape players to start out with? Old School or RuneScape 3, and why?
Well, you've got a group of old school streamers and YouTubers here, so I think the obvious choice is RS3.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I love the OC. It's great.
No, I think every one of us have played both versions of the game.
Honestly, like at the end of the day, we all play in RuneScape.
Yeah.
It just
But-
depends what version you prefer.
We love old school, and we can't really step away from it. I actually tried. I gave RS3 a chance, and I played it for about a month back in 2014, and I couldn't stand it, but I love the heist minigame. So I actually wouldn't mind seeing that in old school even. It's basically cops and robbers. There's no downside.
I will say
But,
one thing. Sorry, just real quick. On mobile, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
old school mobile.
And RuneScape 3. Or RuneScape. Yeah, like 60
You know, it
frames.
really
a sec.
looks great
Both,
mobile,
okay,
though.
both of them look
Old
phenomenal. Let me correct myself.
Have
Yeah.
they got mobile stuff set up here at the venue?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll get you some hands on right after this.
Oh, fantastic.
If I can say anything about RuneScape 3, it does look really cool. Like the graphics on the new client stuff, it does look
NXT is amazing.
It does look cool.
The draw distance on some of that.
Well, I think a lot of people.
Old school got black sky, haven't we? So.
To make up for that, I think a lot of people are wanting old school HD though.
Ooh.
What are you looking at me for? It's not my decision. All right, next question then. Oh, this is a good one. So we have a lot of people who are streamers but don't make videos, or video makers but don't stream. Which one of those would you like to see do more of the other? Does that make sense?
I really enjoy Paul's YouTube videos, and like he'll make them, and then he'll just stop, and then he'll start up again. I wish you could do it more consistently. They're really good to watch.
There's always something that comes up that gets in the way, so if I take anything back, I step away from YouTube. I would love to see Torvesta stream.
Yeah, I was being.
Yes,
I've
I said
tried
this
to,
last
like,
Q&A.
talk him into it the last couple of days, and maybe it'll happen sometime.
Make a new hardcore Iron Man, please stream it.
New hardcore.
There you go.
White Cat 23.
Someone took the name already.
He tried. That's a good sign.
Anyone else in specific? I think you guys do a pretty good job for the most part with balance.
I'd love to see more guides from Woox. Like, you were doing an Inferno guide, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was working on one, but I work full time, so I have another full-time job, so I don't really have that much time to work on my guides. So I'm not really sure if I will release it, but maybe if I get some time, I might release it anyway.
I want to see Mogtime make videos again.
Yeah.
His commentary is golden.
It's hilarious.
That's the way he commentates stuff.
So the reveals haven't happened yet for Old School. That's actually right after this. I get to present a couple of things. I'm really excited. You guys, I don't think, have been filled in on anything yet.
Maybe not. Maybe.
What's one thing you're really hoping to see?
Me and Paul, we want to see Group Iron Man.
You know what I'm
We want to
saying.
form as brothers together. And Mammal as well. Like.
Absolutely, yeah. Group Iron Man.
What was that, Woox?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Cracky Club too, but yeah, I think the first one was actually really exciting, especially when we found the nature room, because I was so excited about that, and I would really like to live that experience again.
Yeah, Crack the Clue was just great content as well, and it got the whole community involved for a while. So a second one would be perfect, but you can't compete with him. That's the problem.
I want to see Rev Caves.
Rev Caves, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And just any game mode, that would be nice. Since I lost my hardcore, now I have nothing to do. I thought I would be motivated to do like wilderness stuff, and I was so excited, but then it's like, oh, like it's not the same. Even when I upload the video, the comments say it's not the same. So hopefully any new game mode, I don't even care what it's gonna be, if it's gonna be released.
Okay, well, we'll see what you have to say in about an hour's time once you see everything. But I believe we have time for just a couple more questions. So I have one more here I'm going to save for the end, and we'll maybe get two more from the audience if that's okay. So hands up, please, guys.
Hi, I'm a YouTuber as well, but kind of like trying to be up and coming. So I have a question is, what programs do you guys prefer to use for your editing or streaming?
Good question.
I personally use Camtasia Studio. It's not much of an editor. It's almost like a nicer looking Windows Movie Maker, but I don't really do much editing. Mine's just like record, cut the clips up, and then put it together. So it's simple and it works for me.
I use Blender actually, which many people don't know that you can edit videos with, but it's also free. So if you're new to video making, you can just download it and get started. I think the only problem is that there are a lot of shortcuts, so there might be a bit of a learning curve. But besides that, I think Blender is really good.
I use Sony Vegas to edit when I do YouTube videos, and I didn't know much about it when I first started using it, but you can basically find everything online, as far as usability goes. And then I always use Camtasia Recorder to record my content.
Yeah, I think Vegas is the big one, because you can do so much editing there. I think Gun Shilly, he's got like the top tier editing right now. I think he uses Vegas, so I'd probably recommend that one.
He's unregistered Hypercam 2.
Old school, yeah, stick it with that, yeah.
Is that what you edit with, too?
Camtasia to edit and record. Most people use Sony Vegas to edit, but I've just always used Camtasia. It's pretty simple.
I used to use Camtasia, but then I had like 5 hours of footage, and I clicked stop recording, and it crashed, like the whole thing. It was lost, and it was the beginning of Deadman mode, I think. So much valuable footage was lost, so I just uninstalled it instantly. I got Bandicam. People say it's bad, but it actually really got improved over the years, so it's pretty good now. Yeah, that's what I use, and I edit with Sony Vegas.
You might get an email from Camtasia. I think you just killed their business.
No. One last question from the chat, please, guys. Audience?
Chat.
The real life chat?
For you, Chris, do you think you could add like a tier 10 pet, like for a bounty hunter? Like you could gamble at tier 10, or possibly add corrupts. You could gamble at tier 10 and maybe get an untradeable corrupt like Vesta or something. It could like be like a money sink for PKers and like just kind of give PKers like a fun thing to go for, or get people to want to go to the wild anyway, because people like don't even want to go because there's like no reason to. So like that could add another pet series, or just get people out in the wild.
So the question was, can you gamble a tier 10 emblem in Bounty Hunter for a pet? This is really interesting. It has come up, of course, as has pretty much everything. You guys think of everything. And pets are a touchy subject, especially pets that aren't for skilling or PVM, because there isn't a pet for PvP yet. As a PvPer, I'd love to see it.
I know what it would be. You just make a miniaturized Virat character.
Yeah?
Perfect wilderness
What
pet.
about the Pures, though? They can't. Yeah?
They don't matter.
They can't get it?
Iron Man.
Okay. It's a really interesting idea. Yeah, we would have to think of like a really in-depth concept and then pitch it. Simply saying, give Bounty Hunter a pet, or even through gambling or whatever. I can just imagine the Twitch chat right now is saying no. So if we were going to try to make this happen, we'd have to sit down in a meeting with everybody from the team and involve the community and bring in as much as we can to really flesh this thing out, and then pitch it as hopefully something that's balanced and respected, and then if they like it, then fantastic. If not, then yeah. I will say though, stay tuned for the old school reveals happening momentarily. You won't be disappointed.
I didn't mean that, Piers. I still love you. No, I'm trying to win him back now. See you later, pal.
You lost their love. All right, guys. Unfortunately, our time has run out, but we have one last question, the most important question on my entire list here. Torvesta, will you ever get a haircut?
Don't get rid of the nest.
No.
Torvesta.
Embrace it.
Embracing the meme.
Yeah, embrace it.
All right, well played. Thanks for joining us, guys. Don't go anywhere. We have the old school reveals for the next 12 months.